We'll do it live! Fuck it! Do it live!
Welcome to the Mouthpiece, episode 72, year 3. Today we're going to talk about World Series of Poker, vaccine mandates, what the rules are. We're going to talk about my home game having a special $3,000 added tournament tonight, $100 buy-in. We're going to talk about sports, we're going to talk politics, we're going to talk about whatever you want. The Mouthpiece is next. Yo, I'm half asleep. My eyes are closed. I went out last night and had some drinks. I don't drink, by the way. That might be the second time I've gotten drunk in about 2 years, right? Maybe. Maybe. No, yeah, probably second time. Anyways, had some fun. Went out to, where did we go? Oh, we went to Artifice. It was like goth night. It was all right. And Labor Day weekend, I figured I'd jump over to my buddy who owns Sapphire Strip Club, and he kind of hooked us up a little bit. They have a back karaoke room that nobody really knows exists. We went back there, sung karaoke, drank. I got some videos I could show you. I don't know, they might, they're kind of X-rated. Let me ask, Danny, if we show like naked girl videos, will we get in trouble?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. All right, guys, so.
We can listen to them, though.
I mean, yeah, I'm sorry I can't share it with you. It was fun. Anyways, let's see. Wsop is now officially 3 weeks away. I'm going to be putting my WSOP package up at ustakes.com, and I'm going to be selling 50% of myself in all of the 10Ks or bigger. So everybody who buys a piece of me in the 10K, the 25K, I'm not sure if I'm going to do the 50K. We will see. Probably will, but I don't know what a COVID-infested fuckfest is going to be there, and if there's not that many players to play the 50K, I'm not sure I'll play. So we'll see. We'll see what the amount of players are. So what I'm going to do is what I did 2 years ago. If whatever percent you buy of me in the 10Ks or bigger buy-ins, you're going to be able to get a free half of that. So I'm selling 50%, and in all my 10K or under tournaments, so let's just say you buy 3% of me in the 10Ks or bigger, you'll then have 1.5% free on all the here, Bubba. 1.5% free in all the under 10K events I play. So I'm giving away 25% in those for free. So yeah, I'm charging a little bit markup on the 10Ks or bigger, but I'm also giving a free 25% on all the smaller tournaments, which are a lot, probably 15 and 20 of those. So it kind of evens out, because listen, I have to the big tournaments, they come to like $250,000 and pretty much for all the 10Ks or bigger. The 3Ks or less will probably be. I mean, I might be playing one 5K, but that'll all be part of it. So basically, I usually play about 10 of those. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give away a free 25% in all my smaller tournaments for the people who buy a piece of me in the bigger ones. My lifetime ROI, MTT, I don't know. I mean, I've been in the World Series this will be year 25, 25-year anniversary of the World Series for me playing professionally. And I've had 2 losing years. One was about 6,000, and then 2014 when I was playing awful and I didn't know what the fuck was wrong with me. I kept telling everybody there's something neurologically wrong with me. I was just making horrible decisions, and it ends up I had a disc almost severing my spinal cord. So that's why I played so bad and lost that year. I lost 150,000 that year. But other than that, I've really never had a losing year. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of tough to lose at the World Series of Poker. I mean, yeah, I guess if you just played no limit hold'em. I mean, but even if you do that, like if you're like half a brain, you could cash 90% of those no limits. That's 1Ks and 1500s and shit like that. So I actually haven't gone over the schedule yet because I just don't do it. But probably either tomorrow or next Sunday I will have it up. In other words, if my ass can get awake, I'll put that out today, and I'll put up all my stuff. So listen, I'm not gonna lie. I'm charging a little bit of a markup in the bigger events, but I'm also giving away 25% free to all the one underneath. Then, and if things are going good, I could end up playing, 15 or 20 of the 10Ks or less. So, that's it. So, that's the goal. Let's see what else is going on. So let's talk. I forgot to tell you guys this. So we are doing a documentary on my poker career and my life at the World Series of Poker this year. I have a film crew that is going to be filming. Yeah, one of the guys in charge hadn't gotten vaccinated yet. He was supposed to get like 3 days ago, so I haven't called him. So let's see what's going on with that. He's a good guy, so that'll be pretty good. It'll be on one of the streaming channels. I'll let you guys know what's going on with that. And hi, Flash. What are you doing? No, stop meowing. He always wants to be the center of attention. What, Bubba? What? Where are you? Oh, you're under here. Okay. So we got that going. Sorry, I'm a little slow. I'm hungover and I never drink. I just woke up. Where were we at? Okay, so yeah, we're doing the film thing. So as you guys know on Twitter, I was very, very. Come on, Bubba. Okay. The little one-ear boy. Here he is, everybody. It's Flashy. A little 20-year-old, one-eared little boy. Hey, so, what? Shh. Trying to talk to everybody here. Thank you. Where was I at now? So as you guys know, I was very vocal on Twitter about vaccine mandates and bullshit, and I blew a fucking gasket, and I really was considering boycotting. I thought it was awful. I mean, it basically takes 50% of everybody out of the World Series. But I had a 3-hour talk with Ty Stewart, who runs the World Series, was it Monday? And he explained to me what the situation was. So I'm a little bit on board with it now. So what he basically said was they really didn't have a choice. They put out the Rule 115 about people getting disqualified or whatever if they got COVID, and the whole entire poker world went nuts. So they had to come up with something that would work, or they were going to have to cancel the World Series. They really didn't have a, this is what he told me. So because my whole mantra, what pissed me off so much, is why does everyone have to be vaccinated when the vaccine only worked against the first variant? The vaccines don't stop anybody from not getting COVID with Delta or Delta Plus or Mu or whatever the fuck new variant they're going to come up with tomorrow. So, the truth of the matter is it's like I told Ty Stewart, 50% are going to get COVID at the World Series of Poker. And if anybody wants to bet me that it won't be at least 50%, you could direct message me and we could bet. Because the numbers say it, Right now in Israel, 60% are hospitalized, and they're 78.9% vaccinated. So kind of that, that's where, my whole argument was the vaccines don't do nothing to stop COVID from you getting it. So what does it matter? Well, like I said, he says, well, and here's the key word, everybody. You guys got to understand this. By having a total vaccinated event, okay, the CDC will not have to do contact tracing on every single person that gets COVID at the WSOP because it's a fully vaccinated event. If they didn't have a fully vaccinated event, the CDC, every time somebody got COVID, they wouldn't allow to be back in until their contact traced to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, to the next person, and it would be a complete clusterfuck. So, Ty's pretty honest with me. I mean, if he made that up, then he's a greatest liar ever. I don't believe he did that. Yeah, I know you're still in prison in Australia. We'll get to that in a minute. Fucking communist motherfuckers. Anyways, so that made a lot more sense to me, because I was getting mad at everybody on Twitter. Yeah, it's good they're taking away all our rights. Yeah, fully vaccinated. Yeah. The vaccines are so good. Big fucking pharma. The vaccines are worthless. They're a fucking therapeutic. Okay, just like ivermectin for humans, not ivermectin for animals and horse tranquilizers, is a therapeutic from plus remdesivir is a therapeutic. So basically, a vaccine is literally put out there to stop you from getting the flu, COVID, whatever the fuck, right? Well, these vaccines don't work against the new variants. And come this winter, this fucking world's going to be a COVID fuckfest. It's going to be a disaster. The truth of the matter is people can say whatever they want, but the vaccine, everybody getting vaccine caused a new mutation and another new mutation, and now we're going to be stuck with COVID till the November 4th, 2024. Maybe a week later. So they could just keep fucking stealing elections with mail-in ballots, because that's what they fucking do. Just like they're going to do with the California recall election in a week. They're like, oh, everything's mail-in ballots now. They announced that 5 weeks ago. Well, no shit. You know, there ain't not one person in California that would vote to keep Gavin Newsom. Not one. But they'll fucking steal that motherfucker. Anyways, so I am, no matter what they say, I still am on the side of like Alex Foxton and Kristen McNell. I mean, I do not believe anybody over the age of 30 should ever get the vaccine. I don't know. That's my opinion. Fucking how many 30-year-olds or less there? There's more people die from the vaccine than under 30 with no comorbidities, not overweight, have died. Okay, so I wouldn't put that shit in my kids. But that's just me. And so I'm on board with them. Like, you know, if you're 25, 26 and healthy, why in the fuck would you want to fucking put a vaccine that does nothing into your body? I mean, it doesn't even work. I mean, it's a therapeutic. It doesn't stop you from getting COVID. I don't know. I'll get a lot of shit for this, but I don't give a shit. It is what it is. So, anyway, so that's the reason that they went fully vaccinated. Of course, I went crazy with my biggest gripe. Well, if it's fully vaccinated, why the fuck do we have to wear a mask? Well, we don't qualify for the 4,000 people or more event. We're going to have to wear masks. Well, I said, that's fucking stupid. And the Raiders, who are making people vaccinated to go into the fucking Raider game, they're like, okay, nobody has to wear masks, right? I mean, you watched college football yesterday. There's like 70,000 people in every football game. Nobody's wearing masks. Everyone's on top of each other. You know why? Because fucking no one gives a fuck about COVID anymore. They know you got to live with it. They know the fucking risk, you know, but the fake news media ain't going to talk about, look at all these COVID-infested football games. No. They want to talk about vaccine passports. You can't get into this gym or you can't get into this restaurant unless you're vaccinated. A bunch of horse shit.
You are fake news.
Yeah, vaccinated for what? For a vaccine that does nothing to stop you from getting COVID? Well, it stops you from getting serious illness and dying. Well, what? When does the government ever give a fuck about who dies? I mean, we got 140,000 people a year die from fentanyl and opioid overdoses. We got another, 20,000 a year die from homelessness. Another, how much die from cancer? So many fucking different, it's just bullshit, okay? I'm gonna call a spade a spade. It's fucking bullshit. The government don't care who dies. They want you to die. They don't give a fuck. But they're fucking pushing the vaccine mandates because it's all about power and control. They fucking found out that, look at the power we get with COVID. Oh, speaking of power, look what they're doing in Australia, the world's biggest prison. I got a guy who plays my home game. Shout out to Chip. Fucking on 11 weeks, he can leave his house 1 hour a day. That's fucking solitary confinement for 23 hours a day in a supposed free society. I promise you, in North Korea, people who live there can go out of their house right now more than 1 hour a day. It's the biggest crock of shit, what they're doing in Australia. They're trying to get zero COVID cases. Like, all these lockdowns ain't gonna stop shit. They're putting everybody's businesses out of business. They're putting everyone in the poorhouse, and I wonder if y'all could guess why they're doing that. Can you guess? Oh, so you'll vote for them, and fucking the government will give you money, and you'll be dependent on the government. And speaking of dependent on the government, I fucking saw last night. Yesterday was the last day of the government giving you unemployment benefits. So the $1,000 a week that they've given everybody for the last 6 months that nobody wants to work, and 2 or 3 of my friends' businesses are almost out of business because they can't get workers. The government just realized, maybe we better not redo this because nobody's working. No, they don't give a fuck. They really don't give a fuck. So, listen, that's fucking government. They're a fucking joke, man, with their fucking vaccine fucking mandates and bullshit. And then you got you dumb fucking leftist poker players. Oh man, the vaccine's so great. I'm so glad we're running a fully vaxxed tournament. Most of these people must not pay attention on what's going on. So, anybody wants to bet me, remember, 50% are going to get COVID. If you show up at the World Series and you haven't got COVID yet, you're going to get COVID, okay? Now, you're not going to die from it. You're not going to be hospitalized, but you're going to be down for 10 days. And I just am going to cringe at all the people at the final table or 2 tables to go or 3 tables to go, and they're the chip leader and they get removed for getting COVID. Now, that's going to happen. It's going to happen unless, like he says, well, if we don't have the fully vaxxed, if everyone's fully vaxxed, that's 50% that won't get COVID, where if there's people that are unvaxxed, that number could get to like 75. So, I'm just being a realist. The vaccines are therapeutic. They stop you from dying. They don't even stop you from being hospitalized anymore. Some people die, not many. Look at Oscar De La Hoya. He's in the hospital. He's fucking fully vaccinated. Joe fucking Rogan. He fucking got COVID 2 days later. No COVID. He took ivermectin. Never been vaccinated. Okay, you got to understand what's going on here. I'm pro-vaccine. I'm vaccinated. I took the vaccine against the original COVID variant, which is why I got COVID the first day I went out, because of the new variant, which, so, that's what's really where we stand on this shit, It's all, COVID was 80% political when it first started, and now it's 100% political, 100%. Just remember, they're closing down countries for 2 months. Like, they've had 1,000 deaths in Australia in a year and a half. They've got less than 100 cases out of 51 million people, and they closed the entire country. This is how fucking power hungry and sick these people are. So, Ty Storr told me, listen, it's not, he's on my side, he don't want to do the vaccine, mandate, but it was either that or no World Series of poker. That was what it really came down to, what he told me. So, I've known the guy for 20 years, 15 years, whatever. He's always been honest with me. And, his son's 13 and got COVID really bad. He almost died. So, he's pro-vaccine, and, he don't want to see that happen to anybody. And listen, after a long talk, I think they're doing the right thing. But if they're going to start mandating vaccines all over the world, that don't work, it's just a total power grab from these corrupt politicians, And, let's see. So, let's go to my home game. So everybody who's listening, tonight at 7 p.m., that's tonight at 7 p.m., we have a $100 buy-in tournament in my private online home game. Now, the key to that is yours truly has added $3,000 to the prize pool Normally we get around 25, 30 people for $100. So basically I'm doubling the prize pool tonight. And if you deposit $200, you get $250 in chips. And that makes your buy-in for the tournament only $50 because you get a free 50. So if you want to do that, email mouthpoker@yahoo.com. Mouthpoker@yahoo.com for details into our 7 p.m. tournament, $3,000 added, $100 buy-in tournament tonight. First, we'll get like 800, second, 700, and then third, fourth, and fifth, 500. I'm pretty sure that's how it's going to work. My online games we've been really doing good. We've had at least 2 tables here the last 3 days. It's a lot of fun. I've been playing a lot. I've been playing like 2-3 hours a day every day, playing $1-2. It's not easy on me, but I have fun and everybody has fun. So if you want to play my $3,000 added $100 buy-in tournament tonight, email mouthpoker@yahoo.com. It's going to be a big night in the private mouth poker room, private game tonight. There should be 3-4 probably games going, and like I said, if $250 for 200, if you're new and you want to sign up, and you can take $100, put it in a tournament, which will be about a $3K prize pool that I'll be doubling to $6K tonight and only tonight. Yeah, that's what we're doing tonight. So shout out to all my people in the home game. Look forward to playing with y'all tonight. My losing streak is over. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Please keep it over. So after I went on my biggest losing streak of my life, which I told you guys about the last time I was on 3 weeks ago, I thought it was going to continue. I ended up winning a massive pot for a nice win, and then I go to L.A. I mean, we talk about my L.A. vacation. I stayed over at the Terranea Resort on the ocean in Rancho Los, whatever the fuck it calls, Rancho Palos Verdes. So that was a nice place. Had a good relaxing week there, except for the Saturday night I jumped in my home game. I was 4,500 winner. We were playing 7 more hands, and the night was over. I pick up queens in a 4-bet pot. A friend of mine calls. Flop came. Jack 3-4. He checks. I bet 1,500. He moved me in for 7,300. I fucking used 3 time banks and folded because I just didn't think with 7 hands to go he's calling my 4-bet where he can't beat queens. So I figured he either flopped 3 jacks or smooth called aces or kings when I 4-bet him. Anyways, so I show him 2 queens and fold, and he texts me and sends me a screenshot of 3 jacks. So I think he made a bad call, and I 4-bet it to like 2,700 with 7 hands to go. Jacks are just never good. You know, I'm just sitting there going to play queens, ace, king, aces or kings with 7 hands to go. So that got me from 4,500 winner to 300 winner. And the very next hand, you can't make this up with 6 hands to go. A guy that sits in the game, is a little bit drunk, and says, "Let's gamble." I go, "We're only playing 6 more hands." "I don't care. I'll play the 6 more hands. Let's go." Post under the gun. Opens for $9.99. I look down, I got 2 aces. I make it $29.99. Everyone folds but him. He rips in 8,400. I call, he's got 2 kings. I'm like, oh, baby, 7 hands to go. We're going to get we're going to book a big win here, a nice win. Don't worry, comes king on the first board. We run 2 boards, and king on the second board. So with 7 hands to go, 4,500 winner. With 6 hands to go, broke and stuck 8,000. That was 2 weeks ago, Saturday, and I haven't lost since. So hopefully, I've gotten about a little over a third of my money from the losing streak back, and that really has made got my a little confidence boost. You know what I mean? Because it was just such a bad run for so long. I'm feeling pretty good now going to the World Series. Got a little confidence boost, won a little money back. So, that's what's going on with my losing streak that ended. What else is going on? Did I miss something? Let's see. My LA trip was fun.
Chicago?
Oh, yeah. No, I haven't done that yet. Yeah, okay. So my LA trip was fun. I played on Hustler Casino Live 3 times. I did not play the big game because their 5-5-50 game, we had like 4 40K pots in a $5 game. So that game there, I won like 7,000. Then I played the 10-20 the next day. I broke even. So those were the only 2 days I played. But then that 5-5 game was... what is this guy saying? I heard the ripping off. All of my talking points. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? So then I was supposed to leave on the Monday, and that Tuesday 5-5 game was so good. I stayed an extra day just to play in that 5-5 game again. I won 3,000 in that. It was I won. Paid for my hotel, paid for my trip. What I won playing poker down there, and I've turned this losing streak around a little bit going into the World Series. So, we'll see what happens. I'm alive. I'm in pain still, but things are turning around a little bit for me. So I'm heading to Chicago on Tuesday. Wednesday, I'm heading out to one of, I don't want to name drop because I don't want to be with Phil, but Phil's done 100 name drops. So I'm meeting Phil out. We're going to play this real juicy cash game with a lot of very rich people on Wednesday night. I got somebody taking a big piece of me because it's a big fucking game. And after that, but it's only going to be for 4 hours of poker Wednesday night. And then Thursday, I'm going to Phil's charity event in the city, where they raised like 1.7 million last year for it. So that, Phil's real good with charity. So Phil hooked me up in the poker game and the charity event. So I'm doing that for him. And then that's Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday I'm playing in a home game with a bunch of guys that live in Chicago that play on our app. So I'm going to meet them out there. We were hoping to stay extra, but the guy's place we're staying at, the fucking idiot, made plans to come to Vegas the same weekend I'm coming out there. So he's a fucking idiot. Ferraro, you're a fucking idiot. So that's what's going on, man. That's my life, the World Series. I'm going to start taking phone calls, 702-329-0480. And we could talk about everything I just talked about, World Series, vaccine mandates, fucking want to talk about my night out last night where I got fucked up. We could talk about that. Whatever y'all want to talk about. I'm going to take about 45 minutes of phone calls. Let's light it up, brother.
The Mouthpiece.
If you'd like to take part in our phone call segment, you can give us a call at 702-329-0480. And if you're a snowflake or a pussy and you don't want to talk to me, you can email me at mouthpiecepodcast@gmail.com. Also, follow me at the Mouth Matiso on Twitter for times that our call-in segment will be live.
702-329-0480. Give us a call. What do you want to talk about? We'll talk about whatever you want. You talk about the World Series, talk about my packages I'm putting up. We talk about whatever the fuck you all want to talk about. Or if none of you motherfuckers... There we go. Welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike. What's up?
How's it going, Mike? This is Mark.
Mark, how's it going? Where are you from?
North Carolina, sir, just outside of Raleigh.
Oh, that's a good place. I like North Carolina. It's pretty cool.
It's not too bad at all. It's a good place to live.
Yes.
Not enough casinos, though. Not enough casinos.
And you don't, but you don't have to worry about the communists with their fucking face diapers and their fucking vaccine passports and all that bullshit like we do in Nevada, California.
I'm outside the major city, which is nice. So there's none of that retardation here, but it's definitely, there's some of it in Raleigh for sure.
Yeah.
In downtown Raleigh, they've definitely had business. They've had businesses destroyed by BLM and Antifa.
Well, yeah, they don't give a fuck.
No, they don't.
You know, you bring that up, and like 90% of the public don't even know there were riots that burned down the entire country in 2020 because the fake news blocked it because it was an election year.
Of course.
So.
No, I get it.
You know,
it's unbelievable.
They think
it's amazing how they.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying, how do they blame Trump for all the bad stuff and yet not talk about the bad stuff? It's amazing how they pulled that off.
It's listen, when you have a fucking corrupt propaganda media in your pocket, that's what's going to happen. You know, it's just, to me, it's mind-boggling because I hadn't been political till 2015, so only 6 years, and I hadn't. Listen, I used to always think the news was sensationalized. I remember when Malaysia Airlines in 2014 disappeared. That's all they fucking talked about. I mean, you had CNN talking about the plane going into a black hole. That's how fucking... That was my first inclination that maybe something's off with this news channel. You know, then I became political. And
Trump lifted the curtain in a serious way, didn't he?
Right. No matter what you could say about Trump's presidency, and I think he did a lot of good things, but he was a fucking moron. I'm going to call a spade a spade. Everything he did was really self-inflicted, you know. But the greatest thing he ever did for his legacy will go down. His legacy will go down as the guy that exposed our fucking media for what it is. A lying propaganda fucking bullshit. I mean, I still...
For that we owe him a lot,
I still don't, to this day, you know how many times I'm at home and I start thinking about our media and how nobody knows how corrupt it is, you know? And I say, how could we live in a country like this? You know? So, but it just, it's mind-boggling to me, you know? But...
I mean, it's the dump truck full of money theory. There's an old Simpsons episode where Krusty was putting out crappy merchandise that was harmful. And Bart's like, why'd you do it, Krusty? He's like, they drove a dump truck full of money to my door. I'm not made of stone. And, like, that explains pretty much everything. It's
I mean, like Afghanistan, I told everyone, I said, this was done on purpose. What do you mean we botched it? There was no botch. It was done on purpose. What do you think, our CIA doesn't know where the Taliban is? They know where me and you are right now. If they wanted if they wanted to come arrest both of us, they'd come get us right now. Okay?
For sure.
They knew what was going on. This was done on purpose. You know, I have my thoughts on it. We know China's in the pocket of fucking Biden. And China, because of the minerals in Afghanistan, wanted the Americans out because rumor has it they want to go in. Who the fuck? I'm not sure. You know, I have people.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Saying that Biden is in China's pockets, not quite right. Whoever's controlling Biden.
Yeah.
that's who's in China's
Biden's just a puppet that goes up there and says, can't put two sentences together. It's elder abuse. It's sad. I'm not making fun of Biden.
It is really.
It's pathetic and it's sad. It's elder abuse. Like, literally, they should be put in jail for putting this poor guy out there, But, I have a couple of billionaire friends, and they think because this was done on purpose. So you have to ask yourself, well, why was it done, And they think it's because, I have a bet that Biden won't make it a year in office, and another big bet he never makes it through the first term. See, their whole motto is get cunt face in office, and nobody likes her.
Sure.
And her approval rating is the lowest for any vice president in American history. It's like 30%.
Amazing.
Okay, but let me ask you something, buddy. Do you notice something? Her face has been nowhere to be seen for 4 months.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Of course.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Okay.
They're smart enough to keep her out of the limelight.
Well, what they're doing, this is my thought. I don't have to be right. It's an opinion, so don't give me shit if anybody doesn't agree with me.
I hear you. Go
they
ahead.
are doing all these bad things, okay? And they're leaking all these audios. It's against them. They did the same with Trump, leaking all that shit. But now they're leaking it on Biden because they're trying to destroy him to resign. So then they could push their gender race baiting fuck faces to get Kamala as the 46th president, and they could all celebrate the first woman president. Oh, look what the Democrats have done. Isn't this amazing? So I think they're literally training her. Like they have like a team around her to teach her how to speak in public, because her cackling laugh, she laughs at everything that's serious. She's disgusting. She's a disgusting human being, and I just think that's where she is the last 4 months, is they're training her to rebrand her, get her out where she could turn that unlikability around, because that's what they want. That's why I didn't vote for fucking Biden. I doubted I would have voted for him anyways, but they picked the worst vice president, and I knew he has dementia. People thought I was crazy, and just go look at what he says, man. Go look. It's elder abuse. I don't even want to. People who disagree with me on that, they're not. They're watching just fake news every day. Go look up Biden press conferences, Biden fucking anything, and you'll see how the guy is. It's sad, man. It's like
I have.
Yeah, it's like take some old guy out of an old age home, that's being taken care of, and say, I'm the president of the United States. That's what they're doing with him. And again, we're all going to get older. I feel bad for the guy, but it's elder abuse. And who's ever running Biden, he admits it. Oh, I'm not allowed to say that. I can't take this question here. He has a list of reporters he can ask questions to that he has in his pocket. It's not even we don't even have a free press. Think about that.
It is, it's the emperor's new clothes in a way that I never thought I would see in real life.
Yes, and look what they're doing in Australia. There's no free.
It's disgusting.
But they're gonna do they're gonna do here. Okay. Don't think they won't. And if that Gavin Newsom cocksucker doesn't get recalled next week, California will be on fucking lockdown. You can mark it fucking down. Okay? These fucking leftist commie motherfuckers want to fucking have all the control, and that's all they closed Australia. They got 100 fucking cases out of 51 million people, and they're just putting everyone in prison for 11 fucking weeks so far. It's insane, man.
You see the app they came out with?
Oh yeah. Now they want the facial recognition one. So basically, they're China. Basically, they're China 2.0. Okay, Australia is no longer a free country. It's a communist country with facial recognition. They want to control everything about everyone's lives, and they're going to do the same here if the fucking people don't fight. There was 8 million people in France protesting the vaccine passports yesterday. There was, like, last week in Australia, something like 3 million, but they arrested everybody if they... That's another thing. It's a free country, but if you're out protesting the government during the pandemic, they're arresting people. This is insane. Everything I'm seeing, even if I wasn't political, is something I never thought I'd see in the history of the world. Especially, I mean,
I know. We're probably doomed to. We're probably doomed as well. But we still have a few things in our favor, which may or may not help us. One is a lot of weapons, and another is our government being enshrined with the Constitution, the idea that we have these certain freedoms that cannot be stripped from us regardless. And I don't know if that'll be enough to save us. We have
I
to
disagree
fight
with
either way.
that. I mean, here's one for you. This is my favorite one. They all get mad at me. Mike Madison's comparing vaccine passports to abortion. Well, all I hear for 40 years is my body, my choice. Keep the government out of my body. See, last week, 3 days ago, there was like 5,000 people protesting the new Texas abortion law. My body, my choice. They're singing, keep the government out of my body. Why they're wearing fucking face masks and they're all fully vaccinated, okay? But the younger people that don't want to be vaccinated because they have no risk of dying, no more my body, my choice. Get vaccinated or you can't come here. You can't fly. You can't come to the World Series. I mean, why? Why? Get vaccinated for a vaccine that doesn't stop you from getting COVID. It only stops you from severe symptoms. Think about that, you know?
I thought about it. Have you noticed that 4 years ago, all the people who were yelling #resist are now telling you get the fuck in line?
Exactly. But that's the media. That's the power of the media, buddy. The power of the media.
I know.
You know, where they're able to control everyone's thoughts. They're able, and if you do any research, you just, anybody that took fucking 30 fucking minutes would realize, what we have going here. I said this the other day, to Phil Hellmuth. We're good friends. We talk like 3-4 days a week.
Sure.
And he just got back from Italy. Maybe I shouldn't have bring this up, but I'm going to bring it up anyways. Whatever.
Okay.
So, it was him, Tremoth, a couple other good friends, and David Sachs. Now, David Sachs is the only Republican in the group, right? And he's really good. He's a good follow on Twitter. You should follow him on Twitter. And he was the original owner of PayPal, and he sold it, and he's sick what they're doing to PayPal. If you're not vaccinated, you can't use our service. Just crazy shit, right? So he's
how can they enforce that?
I have no idea, but he came out they're taking away everybody's rights. If you don't stand up, we're going to lose everything, and it's the truth. They're going for it all. They really are. There was an old saying in the world: socialism, communism doesn't work unless everyone is in on it. And I really think, I don't care what anybody thinks, I know it. The COVID was released on purpose to take Trump out of office, to get power and control over everybody so they can implement their socialist communism agenda. That's my belief. Now, people listening could think I'm crazy. I don't give a fuck. I know I'm right. I'm not even think I'm right. I know I'm right.
No, I realize.
And so, that's just basically, it's fucked up, man. It's all fucked up. But
it's depressing, and I definitely am sad about the fact that I have a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old who are going to have to inherit this.
Exactly. See, my whole life, I used to cry myself to sleep that I'm not married and I don't have kids. But now with everything going on, you know what? I've told myself, like, I never thought I'd say this. I'm like, maybe I'm better not having kids in this world right now. They're indoctrinating all these young kids at a very young age to a leftist ideology. They're fucking telling 3-year-olds that they're transgender. You're fucking 3-year-old. You don't even know what your dick is. You know what I'm saying? What do you mean you're trans? I mean, when I was growing up, fucking lots of boys played with dolls, and lots of girls were tomboys that played sports. Does that mean they're transgender? I mean, I think it's child abuse. I'm really, this is one of the strongest things I'm for. Is like, if you're under the age of 18 years old, they ain't, transgender, motherfucker. You want to fucking be transgender? You fucking, after you're 18-year-old, go fucking do what you want. They're doing it to these 3 and 4-year-old kids.
Be aware of exactly. Be aware of the buyer's remorse that comes with this stuff.
Yeah.
But once you're 18, you knock yourself out.
Right.
Like I'm all for that because I'm all for liberty. I'm a very much a liberty guy over safety.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just don't know why they're pushing this so hard. Doesn't make sense. It's a new voting block, I guess. I don't know.
That's you get more tinfoil hat stuff there, and I've got friends who have opinions on that, but we could be here 3 hours chatting about that. Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the World Series. You were talking about going to the World Series. I assume you got the jab at some point.
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, and I got COVID 2 weeks later. Give me a
overall, I would guess your opinion is that you should make your own opinion about your own decision about the jab, but that any sort of vaccine mandate or passports are terrible.
Terrible.
Would be your opinion basically.
But it's amazing how many leftists think it's great. Like, what's great about it? This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated. That's their talking point on the media, which couldn't be farther from the truth. It just couldn't be. Okay? Yeah. I mean, it just couldn't be farther from the truth. So, it's but I mean, all these fucking leftist poker players, they don't know any better, so they just repeat what they see, and it's just not true. Just go look at Israel, what's going on there, and everybody's vaccinated, and 60% of all the new COVID cases that are hospitalized are fully vaxxed. So the vaccine worked against the first variant. Congratulations, that got rid of COVID for 2 months, and now we're going into winter with and how much. Well, you remember last year when it went into winter, how bad it got. I mean, I can't even imagine what it's going to be. If we have 250,000 cases a day now, it's going to be 1 million cases a day. It's going to be a fuck fest. Mm-hmm. The World Series is going to be a fuck fest too. So whatever.
Yeah. I'm not going to be making it this year. But don't worry, Mike. Don't worry. Once the danger passes, we'll get all of our rights back. Isn't that right?
What? Yeah. What danger? The 99.5% that fucking live from COVID. Give me a break. They're taking our rights away over a pandemic that's a fucking hoax. I mean, I use that word. I use that word, and listen, COVID is not a hoax. So I use that word out of context, okay? Because
I know
it's very real. I do believe if you're over 60 years old, if you're overweight, or you have underlying conditions of any sort, you should get vaccinated. I'm very, very strong about that. But the data is in. I don't care how many kids are getting COVID. Nobody's dying. Of course, CNN will find the 1 or 2 that's hospitalized. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And even the guy who runs the World Series, his kid was very sick and hospitalized. But these are very rare occasions. And I tell you this, more people have died from the vaccine, and you can look it up. You go to the VAERS website, VARES, I think it is, than kids under the age of 16 have died. So why would you give these young kids actually it's under 25 really, a vaccine when they're healthy human beings? It's done for a reason, buddy. It's done for a reason. Always got to piece the puzzle together. Anyways, I got some more calls, and I appreciate you calling in.
Sir.
And
good talking to you, Mike, and I'll catch up with you soon. So good luck with the World Series.
Thank you, my friend. All right, take care.
Take care, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. How many missed phone calls we get?
It's like 5.
5. Let's call.
Hello?
What's up? Welcome to the Mouthpieces, Mike. Lower the
Hey, Mike, how's it going, buddy?
Good. Lower the volume in the background, please.
Yeah, I got you. Hold on.
Yeah.
I was hitting the wrong button.
That's all good, man. How's your weekend
Yeah.
going?
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Glad to hear from you again, bud.
Yeah. You know, I went for a vacation for a week, you know, whatever. It was a kind of a letdown because it was a 5-star resort on the ocean. It was kind of expensive, but they're completely understaffed because nobody wants to fucking work. Because up until today, the government gives them $1,000 a week. Why in the fuck would anybody want to work? You know, so
precisely. The rest of us been working through this whole pandemic. So
yeah, I just like even talking to the couple of ladies that worked at the resort I was at. She's like, I don't even understand it. She goes, I couldn't live with myself if I didn't work. You know, how do these people just get government money and just don't want to work? You know, and you know, I knew they were really understaffed. You can only get maid service every 3 days, so that, you know, only getting maid service twice in 8 days kind of sucked. You know, you go to you call to make reservations at the restaurant. They have like 4 or 5 like big nice restaurants, and you sit on the phone for an hour. I got real upset. I said, listen, I'm a real easygoing guy, and I laid it out for her. I said, I'm paying, you know, big money every day, you know, for this nice resort. And, you know, I can't get shit. I can't get food. And so I stayed an extra day, and they gave me like $1,000 off. And they were very nice about it.
Can't complain about that.
And I mean, person I was with said to ask for fucking $2,000 off, you know. But you know, that was really not. You know, I felt, you know, it's not their fault, you know, that nobody wants to work. I mean, they're just swamped. Even to get like a massage, a pedicure, or a facial, whatever the fuck I got, it you know, they had to do it in 3 separate days because they're so booked and they don't have help. So, so it was a big the resort, which is beautiful, was a big letdown, but it's a letdown because they have no staff and they live in California. And when you live in California, everybody gets government money, and that's what they got to deal with.
Exactly. I mean, I'm in education, so I teach high school.
Oh,
and
okay, cool.
I got called in on the carpet for saying a few things to my class, you know, because some liberal in there had a problem with it. So
yeah, well, you know, like if we're on the right, we don't indoctrinate fucking sick ideology into people. Okay, I mean, did you see the Antifa guy that they caught on camera? He's been teaching his kid, the high school teacher, teaching his kids to rise up against the government, anti-government crazy man. That was like
there's that Project Veritas tape.
Yeah,
right?
the Project Veritas caught him, right? And I mean, they're doing that, and that's why. I mean, buddy, you have a 7 and 10-year-old. I hope you're homeschooling or private schooling them, because you'd have to be anybody who sends their kids to public school right now and doesn't want their kids brainwashed by left-wing ideology, then they shouldn't be down. You know, I have a lot of friends that are Democrats. It's not a Democrat-Republican thing. It's the fact that the Democrats are following the fringe on Twitter, which isn't real life. Nobody wants that. You know, if this was, I could tell people all the time, if this was a Democrat Party of, you know, of Kennedy or even fucking Clinton, you know, then you got 2 different parties. You had 2 different choices. They were pretty much both in the center, but, you know, one believed in big government, the other one believed in self-government. Now it's an insane ideology, from transgenderism to open borders to there's so much. Like I tell people, and I'll stick with this, you know. And again, I want somebody to call me in, call in the show, and I give them $1,000 bonus if they could tell me one policy the Democrats have currently or are pushing that is good for the country. Just one. Nobody could come up with one because there is no one. You know,
the only one I could think of would be forgiving student loans because still got student loans out. So
yeah, you know,
they're going to be gone next year anyway because they've been public service.
You know, the funny thing I was talking about, you know, Helmuth was all his buddies in Italy last week, and then 2 days ago, and Helmuth's always been in the center but leaned left. His wife's really far left, and he comes back and he goes, David Sachs red-pilled all of us. And I was like so happy to hear that because for like a year and a half, Phil thought I was crazy. He literally felt the things that I was saying was like borderline insanity, right? And then he had to have his billionaire buddy, who's a Republican, like point it all out to him. And so all the guys he went with were pretty far left Democrats. And he said when they came back from Italy, they were all red-pilled. And that was like the happiest thing Phil's ever told me because I said to him, hey, your boy Mikey's not so crazy anymore, is he? All the things I told you that you thought I was crazy about, now you believe, huh? He's like, well, he puts it in a different wording than you. You kind of, you know, jumble everything together. Yeah. I said, I don't care. You called me crazy when I told you what the Democrats are doing, how far left they've gone and their policies. And I asked Phil, name one policy. He could, you know what Phil came up with when I asked him to name one policy that's good for the country?
What's that?
He said, well, they just gave out 1.3 trillion COVID relief to people. I said, that has destroyed the country, you fucking idiot.
Are you crazy, Phil?
Exactly. They printed that money, which is horrible.
So people don't go to work so they could close businesses and have government control and put more businesses out of business. So, because listen, Phil's not in the real world. I'm not in the real world. But when I became political, and that's why so many people listen to my show like me, is like, I care about the working class people. I care about,
exactly.
I've made plenty of friends on people that listen to my podcast that are dead poor. You know why? Because I don't think I'm better than people. I respect them. I want to see their lives get better. You see what I'm saying? And
absolutely.
But Phil, he's so out of touch with reality, just like everybody in Washington. They don't know what's going on. They just whatever it is. And so
everybody in Washington, everybody in California, they're all out of touch with reality.
They're just out of touch completely out of touch with reality. You know what I mean? And
this is stuff I've been saying since before the election happened. That if the Democrats were to win, which they did illegally, but that's beside the point.
Well, that brain dead motherfucker never got 80 million votes. So
no, there's no way.
Zero chance. And you know what? When I argue with people, they're like, they didn't win in one lawsuit if there was any widespread voter fraud. I'm like, there wasn't widespread voter fraud. The election was decided by 42,000 votes. That's 20,000 ballots out of 190 million that turned the election.
Yep.
And they don't
exactly right.
They don't grasp that when I say that. And all the poker players that accused Postel of cheating, and maybe he was, maybe he wasn't, whatever. Like they show all the data why it's impossible and he had to be cheating, right? So I tell everyone to look at the data from election night. It goes Trump, 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 Trump. The fucking betting numbers had Trump 5-1 favorite at 10:30 West Coast time, 1:30 Eastern time to 2:30 Eastern time. They stopped the count in Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. All the counts stopped. People were pushed out of the room. Okay. And then if you look at the data, it spikes straight up for an hour. Then goes down, and everything else is Biden winning in because they had more mail-in ballots, right? In very small increments. You know what I'm saying? So like how
they were talking about the same thing happening here in Kentucky because when Bashir beat the idiot Beavis Butthead. Well, I call him Matt Beavis, but
Yeah.
Matt Bevin.
Yeah,
They
he's-
spiked up like that the same way, and I don't care that guy got beat because he's an idiot.
Every Democrat or liberal or whatever listens to my show, go look up the data and say it's a fucking statistical impossibility that for 1 hour the chart goes straight the fuck up and then goes down, and everything else, like Biden for all the hours was gaining about maybe 50 or about 70% of the mail-in ballots, which we expected. It's like a 70-30. But for the 1 hour, it was 99.5 to 0.5% only in the 4 swing states. Okay, Trump won more bellwether states than any president in history. He won. The only president in history to increase his vote total and not win, and he increased it by 12 million. Okay, it was a absolute robbery, and I didn't need Trump to tell me. I saw them close the count for fucking an hour, and I've seen the data. You know why you don't see the data? You know why CNN, MSNBC, Fox News don't want to show you the data? Because they wanted Trump out. The Republicans wanted him out as bad as the Democrats. That's that's the truth, But
Trouble is, he's coming back though.
I mean, I think he is. I'm going to lose a $10,000 bet to Phil because I didn't think he'd ever run again. Because I know they stole it last time. I mean, so why wouldn't they steal it again?
They quite possibly could. I mean, they had evidence that multiple ballots got scanned twice in Georgia.
Dude, it's such a fuck fest, dude. I read. People that disagree with what we're saying right now, they don't look it up. They don't read. No. They don't see what's going on. They listen to fucking CNN, MSNBC, and they think that's the gospel. Okay.
Oh yeah, my brother's the same way. I mean, we can't talk politics because it interferes with our relationship.
Well, I got a lot of friends I could talk politics with, and we can argue, but the truth of the matter is I mean, even my one good friend Ashley, she's really far left, and like we had a little heated discussion last night, but overall, she felt that I was like she always does. It's like I've said it before. I like to say it, but she tells once I start pointing things out and we look things up together, and she thinks it's different. I'd say I've been right 85% of the time, or 80%, and maybe 20 I'm wrong. And she said to me, she goes, "Man, Mike," she goes, "everything I thought about the world for 39 years of my life, all the things I thought about politics for 39 years of my life." I mean, it's starting to look like, my life has been a lie. And I was just like, exactly. I said, I'm not trying to change your view. I'm just trying to show you concrete evidence.
And you're just trying to show them why that happens. But we have evidence, and that's what I keep trying to tell my brother. It's like, here's the evidence. Just look at it. No, it's not right.
Well, that's the difference between me and you and a leftist. Well, if you say, I'm going to show you evidence why the election was stolen, I'm going to show you what the media is doing. I'm going to, like Daniel will send me a video calling Tucker Carlson a fucking racist, right? And then he'll send the video that is completely chopped and fucking skewed to make him look like a racist. I go, dude, that video's not real. That's not the interview that actually happened. And then I send him the interview that's not chopped and cutted, where there's nothing racist, okay?
Yep.
And he's like, "Well, you send that to me. I don't read anything off Fox News." Well, see, that's just stupid. If you want to learn what's going on in the world, and if I'm telling you something's not real, and I'm sending you something that is real, you should see it. And that's what me and my friend Ashley, that's what I do with her. And I've done that 20 times. She'll say, "Look at this, what's going on, look at this." I'm like, that's not true. That's not what happened. And I'll say, "Look this up," and I'll look at this article, and then she'll, the reason why she's on the far left and we can have a discussion is because she knows how corrupt the media is. So once you know, see, that's the thing. Once you know how corrupt the media is, you know, everything else kind of falls in place. You know what I mean? But, you know, just remember, like 95% of the people work 9 to 5. They come on. They see what's going on in the news. They flip on CNN, MSNBC. That's not CNN, MSNBC from 20 years ago. It's a propaganda lie. There's not. I don't think
it's
there's
definitely not Walter Cronkite or David Brinkley or anybody like that.
I mean, I think Fox News 70% is truth, 30% is propaganda. I think CNN, MSNBC is like 90% propaganda and 10% true. And it's hard to find the 10% that's true.
You are precisely correct there, Mikey. That is the 100% gospel truth.
You can't go, you know, it's not, I mean, I don't want to just keep calling politics, but like, you know, the reason why right now I talk this in the world right now is just, it's such a fucking evil place. I still can't get over what they're doing in Australia. I just, to me, it's almost mind-boggling. Anyways, I got like 3 or 4 more calls I got to answer.
All right, Mikey. Good talking to you again.
Good talking to you.
We'll call in again sometime when I catch you.
You got it, man. If I don't know if you play small limit poker, but we got in my online private game tonight at 7 p.m. $100 buy-in, and I'm adding 3,000 to the prize pool. Normally get about 30 people, so it'll be like a double. It'll be like a double
for me because I'm on the East Coast. So.
You got it. All right, my man. Thanks for calling.
Mikey, take care.
You take
care.
Good. Later. Before we call anybody, I just wanted to let people know that's watching. Well, let's answer the call. Welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike.
Hey, Mike. How's it going?
Good, man. Who's this?
It's Dwayne Lindsay in Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Oh, cool. Bowling Green's a cool place. What's going on, man?
Yeah. Oh, nothing. I haven't... let me turn that down.
Yeah.
I haven't disagreed with you on anything. I've agreed with you the whole way. I've got my own examples how corrupt the media is.
Right.
And I wanted to try to win that good policy thing on the Democrats. There's only one I can think of. And also, when I first signed on, you said something about you feeling better. Have you been sick?
I've been in a lot of pain. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm 54 years old, and
I
understand the pain.
Yeah, we get old, we get in pain, you know. So, what's the one policy the Democrats have that you think is good? This one I want to hear.
Okay, now let me.
I know you're gonna
like
now. If it's, I know you know what somebody said to me the other day, and I agreed with them, but you can't really prove it's good. They go, well, they're legalizing pot. And I'm like, well, that's good. But are they legalizing pot because they give two oops of a fuck who dies? You know, you're not going to die from pot. Nobody dies from pot. But, you know, it's still a gateway drug, you know. But they're doing it for all the money, man. For the billions they're going to make. They don't give a fuck, you know.
Yeah, even the old Speaker of the House, who was against it, went to work for a company for it. Yeah. So. Right. But no, mine was Juneteenth.
The what?
Juneteenth holiday.
Juneteenth? You think is good for this country? I think that's the worst thing that ever fucking. That's not even real. That's not even they made that shit up, man. Like
no, that was when they got freed in Texas.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. All that is a propaganda holiday. They just put that in for propaganda to pander to the blacks, like for votes. Oh, they didn't give a fuck about June. Everybody knows that.
I never said that they cared about anybody.
Yeah.
I just said it was a good thing.
Really? I thought it was one of the worst things in the history of this country. I think it's more pandering. I think it's more victim mentality. You know, that's all they do is victim, 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 victim. You're a broke Latino. You're a broke African American. You don't have a fair share in shaking life. You know, vote for us and we'll give you money. You know, it's like, you know.
I agree with you. I agree. I do not think they're motives was pure, but the actual thing itself,
Really? I thought it was horrible. You know, I think it was. I just think it's just. It's just all they did it was to appease their voting bloc and make them feel good.
Oh, I agree.
But I disagree with Juneteenth. I think it's bullshit. The thing that's most important is what Abraham Lincoln did when they freed the slaves. And you know, we're not a perfect country. I'm not a perfect person. You're not a perfect person. I mean, cancel culture is destroying the country. It's destroying the world. I mean, people are getting fired for something they said when they're teenagers. It's insane, you know? I mean, that's even like one guy in the chat here just said Bill Maher's been on fire the last 2 weeks. And I'm like, yeah, he is. And he's been calling out the fucking liberals. And he's a fucking liberal because if you're a Democrat and you know what's going on and you're seeing what they're doing with cancel culture and these fucking open borders and just they're going to get slaughtered in the midterms, even with their mail-in ballots. I mean, they're going to get slaughtered, you know? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if the Republicans pick up 30 seats in the 2022, you know? And then you know the second... Yeah, you know the second we're gonna take the Senate and the House, okay? But the second we take the House, you don't think there's payback coming for what they did to Trump? I mean, Biden just they fucking impeached Trump over a phone call, bro. A phone call. They fucking Biden just pulled out of Afghanistan with no plan after 20 years and got those 13 people murdered. That's all blood on his hands, okay? He should be completely impeached for that fucking debacle. Now, we should be out of Afghanistan. But like people are like, well, it was Trump's policy. No, Trump had a policy. We're out on May 30th. Anybody fucks with us will get severe consequences. Any bombings will be severe consequences. Okay? But fucking Biden changed that from May 30th to September 11th because he wanted on the 20-year anniversary of September 11th to say we're out of Afghanistan. He didn't care who died. He didn't care whose people are getting, the women that are getting raped right now and put into slavery right now. All he cared was a political, and because he wanted a political win by September 11th. And I mean, then we got stuck with I mean, it's impossible that was not done on purpose. Impossible. I mean, what do you think? We don't have intelligence that tells you where the Taliban is? I mean, it was done on purpose. I mean, you know, if
they just went to history school,
yeah, nobody.
Same thing happened in Vietnam.
Thank you. You're right. Yeah, same thing happened in Vietnam on July 8th. Fucking Biden's like, oh, this won't be another Saigon moment. We have the Afghan army has complete control. Complete control. All I heard for 20 years is they're training this big army of 300,000 people with a government, and the fucking whole country fell in 11 days, and the Afghan army just said, fuck this, and left all the weapons. It was done on purpose. The only reason why they had an Afghan army is our U.S. was paying them big money. Second that they were leaving, they were like, oh, we're just going to side with the Taliban. I don't know. It's insane, bro.
Well, also insane. The way they was training, they were saying they was training them a lot. Well, you go put the laser on them and we'll bomb them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but, yeah, I agree with you the whole way. ABC News, the two times that I can remember watching the White House feed on YouTube, Trump come out to the podium and he was talking about bleach and UV light.
Oh, yeah. And the fake news ran with fucking that Trump was fucking pushing bleach in people's body. He never once said that. And people, go look it up, the UV lighting about putting part of the UV lighting to kill COVID. You put some liquid in the body where the UV lights pick up, and that is able to kill COVID. And Trump, who's really bad with his words, he was like kind of asking questions to Dr. Birx. We do the lighting, we put this liquid or whatever disinfected into the body. He was talking about, and you could look it up. There was a study, the exact study he was talking about was the UV lighting thing with the liquid they put in the body. Never once. And I have made this bet, and I've won this bet twice for $1,000. Did Trump ever talk about putting bleach in any body? And that's all you fucking heard for fucking 3 months,
Yeah, exactly. He seemed amazed at how good UV light and bleach did.
Yeah, because he's a problem solver. He saw something that might help the problem. Okay,
people turned around to the doctors and looked at them and says, "Is there any way of doing this internal?" And they said no.
Yeah.
Oh, ABC News. Trump suggests that people will intake
bleach. That's unbelievable.
Anybody died on that? That was the damn network's fault.
No shit. It's just unbelievable. And listen, these guys, people are following me, a lot of my liberal friends that are watching the chat right now, they think I'm a pro-Trump supporter. I think the guy's a fucking idiot, okay? But, there's a big but, he had common sense on his policies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't...
Good George too.
Yeah, I don't care. Boo-hoo, he doesn't talk nice. He's not fucking presidential. But I want to know what policies he had that weren't good for the country. What's the other side pushing? So listen. I really hope he doesn't run in 2024 because I believe in my heart they stole the election in 2020, and I also believe in my heart that the reason why they're pushing vaccines is the more people that get vaccines, the more the COVID's going to mutate. The more it mutates, the more COVID stays around. The longer COVID stays around, the longer they can fucking put fear into everybody and then fucking use an excuse for mail-in ballots so they can steal more elections. That's my belief. I don't give a fuck if anybody disagrees. It's my belief.
You just said the whole game, and they'll tell it to you. Nancy Pelosi was in, when Trump shut down the borders, was in Chinatown in California saying that racist.
Yeah,
now
racist. Racist. Everything's racist. Like fucking, dude, they called COVID racist because black people and Latino people supposedly had more of a death rate, so COVID was racist. No, COVID is racist. Black people and Latino, more people die because they eat like shit. Now, you could say a lot of them eat like shit because they don't have money, but if you don't have money, what's the cheapest thing you could buy? A fucking salad, right? So don't tell me that they're overweight and obese, and that's why because they don't have equality money wise. No, eat fucking good. Like I've been on a diet now 2 weeks. I've been eating grilled chicken, fucking salad, and sushi with no rice every day. I've lost 18 pounds. I got another 20 to lose, So don't give me fucking bullshit that, the race. Everything's racist. Everything's racist or climate change. Like we pulled out of Afghanistan for climate change. Or we gave this person this. Every talking point is climate change, racist. Racist, climate change. Right? That's it. They're dirt balls. Anyways, I got some other calls I got to get, man. It's really nice talking to you. And,
all right, good luck and hope to get feeling better, Mike.
I do. Thanks for calling in, my man. Thank you. Yeah. No, Juneteenth, I think that's fucking one of the worst things I ever did. But it was just a pander to the black fucking policy. That's all. I never heard of Juneteenth until fucking a year ago, by the way. Neither did anybody else.
Hello.
What up? Welcome to Mouthpiece. It's Mike. Who's this?
Mikey. We're going to change the subject on
Let's
here
do
a
it.
little bit, maybe.
I don't want to talk politics anyways.
Yeah.
Let's talk World Series of Poker.
Yeah. All right, I just came up with a couple quick questions, man. I've
Sure.
been watching you since forever, dude. Since forever.
Thanks, my man.
So here, we'll start this one here. We'll
Yeah,
go,
no,
all right,
no,
well, you-
no
all
more
right,
politics, everyone who calls in. I'm done with politics for the day. Okay, I'm glad you said
Yeah,
that.
get off the politics.
There-
I get
yeah,
it.
you
Dude,
get-
We
the
want to
thing-
hear your.
Yeah,
we want to hear your poker stuff. We want to hear your.
course.
Dude, we love it.
Yeah, you know what it is. You get emotionally involved, and you start, and it upsets you so
I know
badly. You know.
Listen, you're the most emotionally involved dude there is. We know that.
Yeah,
It's all good,
exactly.
dog.
Yeah, I really
I know
am.
you get on something, and I know you are, dog. You love it. That's why we love you.
Yeah. So let's go. What do you want to talk about?
But-
Give me a subject.
All right. So my favorite moment of watching you play poker was when you won that hand. You were in the World Series of Poker, and you beat that dude, and you said the kiddie game is down the street.
Yeah, that was a pretty good line.
Okay.
And
That was the best thing. I mean, so I want to know: did you just all off the cuff pull that out of your
yeah,
ass and
that
say
was
that
complete.
the most clever line?
Yeah, that was completely off the fucking cuff. You know, I
mean, you just to say that to the dude, you verbally abused the man without even going over the line.
Well, the funny part,
unbeatable line.
The funny part is that was 2005, right? So that was before anybody knew about bet sizing. They didn't know about. They just played poker. No, I always say when card runners taught bet sizing in 2006, it changed the whole game because I used to get a read of what people had just by the way they put their chips in, how much they put in. And if you pay really good attention, they put a little bit more in. They have like aces, and if you paid attention to everybody, the way they threw their chips in and the way they or how much they put it in told me what their hands were. And on that particular hand, when the guy checked back and then he bet small on our turn, I knew he was really scared of the ace. And so I check raised him. I just knew he couldn't call. And then when and that was pretty deep in the tournament, there was about 4 tables left.
Right.
And I just said, man, don't fuck with me, man. The kiddie game's down the street. Listen, I believe in 2005 I was best no limit hold'em player in the world. I really believe
that.
Man. I walk the walk and talk the talk, I mean, nowadays there's so many great players. There's no talk to talk. There's no talk to talk. You just gotta
can't
fucking
talk no more. Exactly.
You gotta walk the walk.
That's where I was gonna go. So
Yeah.
I watched you guys play in Negron. You guys used to talk. I'll get warnings and thrown out of the casinos around here for talk. I like to get the table razzed up. I like to get it going. Then they get pissed off at me. I get 4 dudes who hate me at the table, and now they're just playing terrifyingly bad poker against me, making horrible calls. And then I get in trouble because they call the floor, and I'm not even saying, it's not like I'm saying anything bad to them, but I get them so mad at me with my little, like you said, the little verbal jazz, but it's not like crazy, rude swearing stuff. It's just how kind of like what you do to that guy.
Yeah. So, now, see, I can't say shit to fucking players now because then they'll come at me. But back then I wanted them to come at me because I was so much better than everyone. Now they're all fucking wizards. I don't want wizards coming at me. So I kind of
true. Yeah, that's true. That's true too.
I still make fun of Daniel and Phil and all my friends. But I don't make fun. I don't make fun of strangers anymore because they could. Most of them play pretty good no limit hold'em. I mean, no limit hold'em's solved.
Yeah.
I mean, it's solved. Okay, that's the bottom line. It's solved. Yeah, you're going to see this guy go on this big rush, this guy go on this big rush, win lots and lots of tournaments. It's been like that for years. That's why somebody always wins 2 bracelets at the World Series of Poker, because you win one, you got confidence, you're playing real good, you start losing, you think you're going to lose. It's all about positivity and staying positive and stuff. So, it's just, it is what it is, man. But yeah.
Well, all right. Well, here I got another. I mean, like I just had like 3 little quick questions that came up. Here's another quick. You can tell me or not. So I was wondering, like, in your party years, millionaire Mattisau years back, a top poker player living in Vegas. what was the craziest night out you had, and who were you with?
I mean, I had.
I mean, maybe you can't say it. If you can't say the craziest, maybe go to one that you can talk about.
I had this porn star over the house, and
there's where we want. This is what we want to hear.
And we were rolling, and after we were done rolling, we did more drugs and whatever. And she brought fucking about 8 girls over in like a 10-hour period that she fucked in front of everyone. That was pretty fun.
Okay, so I think you just answered my next question anyways.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. We had one of the funniest things that ever happened. It really was funny. Is we had one of the girls at our black girl. She was really nice, and she gets there, and everybody's getting naked in my pool, and they're jumping off the water fountains, jumping off the right. This girl gets naked.
Yeah.
She gets naked, and she didn't know that you're supposed to shave your pussy, and it was like a big ball of hair the size of this fucking big, man. And we were all like, "What are you doing? You got to shave that." She probably doesn't know it. Nobody taught her. I don't know. That was one of the most embarrassing. That was funny. But it was funny, but I didn't, we didn't make fun of her or anything. We just kind of let her in.
No, sure, dude. Yeah, no.
But that was one of the funniest things I ever saw in my whole life, dude. I'm telling you, man. It was like that movie, The Heartbreak Kid, where she goes to pee and the big hairy pussy fucking pops out. It was kind of like that, man. That was pretty funny.
Sure. How about, all right, one more, since you already answered my next one. I'm guessing, yeah. So we don't even, how about, did you ever have any crazy nights out with Antonio Esfandiari?
I've had crazy nights out.
King of Vegas.
I've had crazy nights out with Antonio. I've had crazy nights out with Ivy. I've had...
all of them, I'm sure.
I can never talk. I can't talk about any of those. That I can't.
No, of course you can't detail. Yeah, no, I get
But
it. You can't.
Listen. I might be half brain dead from all the fucking ecstasy I took, but I don't regret. I don't regret it. I had fun. I did shit that 90% of the fucking population just dreams about doing. So, fuck it. It is what it is. All right, man. I got some other calls I got to answer. I appreciate you calling in, and have a great weekend. Be safe, okay?
Hell yeah. Later, man.
Later, man. All right. Before we go to another call, everybody out there, if you haven't signed up to my online home game, we've been getting 3 games a night. Games have been great. 1-2 no limit, 1-2 PLO. And tonight we have a $100 buy-in special event. Normally we get between 20 and 30 players, which is beat a $2,000 to $3,000 prize pool. And this week I am adding $3,000 to the prize pool. $800 for first, $700 second, and $500 for the next 3 spots. So top 5 are going to get a big bonus. Plus you could win. First place will probably be about $1,400, $1,200. Well, what is it going to be with 30 people? Who knows? We might get more. Who knows? 10 people here might join up. And email mouthpoker@yahoo.com if you want to play the tournament tonight. You got to deposit $200. You get $250 for $200. And so the tournament basically is going to cost you $50 because you're depositing $250 for $200, or $200 for $250, and with $3,000 added. The room was doing good. My private online game is doing good. We had a pretty big lull for a while, and so we're trying to, for the regulars, we're trying to keep the room going good because people love playing, and they love playing with me, and I play an hour a day with everyone because I love everybody. Okay, so let's take some more phone calls there. Let's see, it's 5:07. We'll stay on here at about 5:30.
Someone's on the line.
Oh, we got someone on the line? Welcome to Mouthpiece. What's going on?
What's up, Mike? How are you?
I'm doing
Mark
good.
From Henderson, Nevada.
Who are you?
My name is Mark from Henderson.
Oh, Mark. You live right down the street. I live here in Henderson, too. What part of
I
Henderson?
live by the Green Valley. You know the Green Valley Ranch Casino?
Yeah, that's where my old house used to be. I used to live in Clearwater Canyon, right over the bat, right at 1 block over. So, yeah, it's a good place.
I have a question. Now that football's starting, what is one of like the top 5 bad beats you've ever taken? Because recently I've been getting crushed on the sports books. So
bad beats in sports?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, football specifically.
I mean, money wise or just bad beat wise? Like I could tell you the worst beat, 2 of the worst beats, but I didn't have as much money on the game. So I'll go with
the most money you've had on the game with the worst outcome.
Okay, the most money I had on the game with the worst outcome, I have to get it relived every fucking week on fucking Scott Van Pelt's bad beats. Okay, the worst one, the most money on was the Ohio State Northwestern game. Northwestern, we are getting 6.5, and we have the ball with 2.5 minutes. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 2.5 minutes ago, we're up by 4. And we got the ball, and we fumble it at their 10-yard line. We were going in to score again, and I had 20,000 on this game. And Ohio State comes down with 18 seconds after the fumble and scores a touchdown to go up by 3. And on the ensuing kickoff, and you've seen it every single time on Scott Van Pelt's Band Beats every week, they get the ball they out at the 25. Remember, they take a touchback to get it at the 25. So
right.
you feel like you're safe, nothing stupid's going to happen. And then came lateral, and it's 8 seconds to go, and the Ohio State, they fumble, falls on the ball in the end zone, and the game lands 10. And I think we were getting 9.
Gosh.
I think we were getting 9. So we're up 4. We had first and goal with
2 minutes left, right?
Under 2 minutes to go, and we lose this fucking game. That was the worst beat I've ever took, money-wise.
And then I have another question for you. Didn't you say that you were booking for 2 guys who always lost, and then
they busted us. They beat us. They beat us out of $3 million, and we could. So the next week, because we're honorable people, most bookies will say, come back, bet, whatever, and then if they win, we'll say, hey, we're waiting for people to get paid. Come back, bet. But we don't want to fuck people. A lot of bookies do that. So we just said we can't afford. You broke us, and then they lost $4 million in the next 3 weeks.
Oh my! That's I can't even comprehend how you can book and then get wiped out like that.
I'm the only human in the world that's never won betting, never won booking, and the only year the sharpest guy in the world that everybody knows who that is.
Billy Walters?
Yes. The only losing year they had was 2000 and was it 2000, right after my surgery? I think it was 2015. It was before my surgery because I was running around. So it was probably, I think it was 2012 or 2013 because it was 2012 because I was running around getting lines and everything before my injury. Yeah, 2012. And I ran everywhere to try and save a half a point, get a half a point. We were betting, pretty big. And that was the only year I followed them. That's the only losing year they had in 25 years. So I couldn't win booking, couldn't win betting, couldn't win following the sharpest people in the world. And so
now, do you still bet or no?
No. I mean, I quit 4 years ago. 2016 was my last betting sports. Now, do I bet 500 or 1,000 on a game once in a while? Not a regular game, but it's always at a playoff game. Sure, because I want it just for fun. You know what I mean? But I don't ever wake up and say who's playing today. Look for what am I going to bet on? I'm just, if there's a game that I want to watch and I have nothing else to do that night, I'll bet 500 on a game. But that's
people.
People think
you have
Yeah.
Go ahead.
People think that, then you still do bet sports. No, I don't bet sports. I used to bet 5,000 to 50 fucking thousand a game, and I busted myself 9 times. Okay, I've made one bet in 4 years over $1,000, and that was last year's Super Bowl, which I bet 2 on, and I called Billy Baxter at halftime, who's the best halftime fucking better in the world, and he told me, I'm not going to touch it because I have blah, blah, blah amount on the first end on Tampa Bay. He goes, but if you don't have a big bet on Tampa Bay, bet all you can second half plus the 8.5, right? And I agree with him because you could see that Mahomes was running for his life. And I knew you knew what the offensive line problems was going to happen in the first quarter. If those 2 guys being out, I mean, you knew in the first quarter, and once he started running for his life, the game was over. So I bet another 1,000, and the old Mike would have listened to Billy and bet like 50. When he said, if you don't have a big bet all you can second half. So that was the biggest bet I've had in 4 years, 3,000, and I put 2 on the front end because he told me how much he loved Tampa, and I loved them too. Because I knew, I don't care what anybody says. Anybody knows anything about football. It's not about the quarterback. It's about the fucking offensive and defensive line. If you don't have an offensive line, you could be the greatest quarterback, receiving core in the world, and you'll never win a game.
Right.
So,
and do you still do the future bets with Phil?
I did.
Over unders.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Over unders on the wins.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up. I have worked with Phil, and Phil, I give Phil all the credit, but I've pretty much picked like last year his Miami pick. That was me. I told him you got to go all in on Miami here over 5. This is the first, because I've been struggling financially for quite a long time. So now I owe very little bit of money now, and if it wasn't for this terrible losing streak I just had in poker, I'd have been already out of debt. But so I did go, because I don't bet during the year and I have no interest in betting football. I did bet 3 of totals with him. We went 5,000 apiece over Green Bay, over 10. We went over 7 with Atlanta, but I told him Atlanta's the pick. It was 6, and then it got moved up to 7. Atlanta, who went like 4-12 last year. People don't understand that team, which was 0-5, was supposed to be 5-0 or 4-1. The coach gave away every game. So that team was loaded, and then they gave away a total of 7 games, and at one point they lost 4 games where they had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter. No team has ever lost more than 2 in one season when it had a double-digit lead. So I feel Atlanta's going to be...
So you like Atlanta over?
Yeah, it's actually our best bet, I think. They're in a weak division. They have Tampa, and that's it. Carolina's down. We don't know what Jameis is going to be with New Orleans. Thomas is out for at least the first month of the season. I looked at the schedule. We like Atlanta over, and that coach was so bad. He's now the defensive coordinator of the Cowboys now, but he was a great defensive coordinator when he was with Seattle during the Legion of Boom. I mean, the guy knows defense. He knows defense. He don't know offense. He don't know. He's an idiot. He didn't know nothing. He didn't know X's and O's. He's one of the worst coaches I've ever seen.
I gotta go soon, but I have one more. I have one more question for you. The group of guys that you used to play with back in 2009 on the TV shows. Like, aside from you, who else was like a big time sports bettor that the people wouldn't know? Like Phil Ivey, Antonius, like any of those other guys higher off like that? Ivy
was a very big sports bettor, but he used to be a fish, and then he became friends with the big time people, and Ivy was able to get down big amounts because everybody thought he was a fish, and then he was just started following all the sharps, and he crushed it. And eventually they figured out that he was, once they realized that, they cut him off. But He was
just
smart.
Ivy or anyone else? Like, is Antonius or any of those guys?
No, Patrick doesn't bet any sports, none.
And David Williams, apparently I guess he's part of a syndicate group, and I guess he's killing it. So I was just curious, if there's any stories you had.
Yeah,
about
no, I don't. I only knew I knew about 3 or 4 D-gens, but of the big name people, the only one that bet sports big was Ivy, and he was always.
And Lindgren, right? Eric Lindgren.
Yeah, but Lindgren wasn't. He bet his own stuff. He was a D-gen. He bet like every game, every halftime, Lindgren was the biggest D-gen sports bettor in history. And he's very sharp and very knowledgeable. Matter of fact, he's got his own show coming out for this college and football season. Yeah. He's got his own radio show.
What, on YouTube or something? Or?
You gotta look it up, Eric Lindgren football show. But it kind of scares me because he quit betting sports completely. He went to rehab for it, and now he's doing a sports show, which I'm hoping to God he's not betting again because, once a D-gen, always a D-gen when it comes to sport.
Oh,
Let me tell you something. Quitting drugs was 10 times easier than quitting betting sports. Every habit I ever had was way easier to quit than betting sports. Fucking betting sports was almost impossible. So, I finally figured it out.
I feel like I can't even watch like a football game without action on it. That's how bad it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and listen, if there's a game and I feel like watching it, I'll bet 500 on it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not betting to make money. I'm betting to just enjoy myself, where before I was like 5,000 a game, 10,000 a game, and I get loser bet 20,000. I was crazy, man. I look back at how sick I was, and I still don't believe I was that sick. It's like I can't. If I look back at all the things I've done in life, I say to myself, because I'm such a different person now. I still don't believe that I did the things I did. So,
Have you ever put like 100,000 on a game, or what?
Yeah,
have you ever done anything?
Yeah, I put 100 on a game, laid 6.5. They lost by 26, and I bet 50 on a game. I laid 4.5, and they lost by 28. Those are the 2 biggest bets I ever made. I never had a chance in any of them. I've laid 3-1 on a money line 11 times in my life. 3-1, whether it's baseball or football. You know how many I've won?
Right. How many?
1.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so
do you do those contests in Vegas?
I do. I am in. I'm in the Pick'em contest.
Circa one is good value.
Yeah, I'm in the Pick'em contest with Mark Gregorich. We might, me and my best friend Ben might join one of those contests, and then so. Basically, the Pick'em contest is $2,500 for the year. So that's what I do with that. And then with that, we also have 2 suicides. You get 2 suicide picks in the suicide pool for $1,000 a crack. So I'm in those right now, and I won't be. I don't think I'll be betting one football game this year. I'd be shocked, and if I do. It'll be like maybe 500 or 1,000. I just have no interest in it. I got the Pick'em contest.
You've done it all pretty much.
Yeah, I got the Pick'em contest. I got some other these big contests. I got the suicide pool, and I got three teams that I bet futures on, and that's good enough for me. I'm also going to go. I haven't bet it yet, but it looks like I'm going to go 3,000 over on New England 9.5. That's just a gut feeling. Yeah, that's a gut feeling for me.
Okay.
They're 100% going to have the best defense in football. Okay, that's a fact. Okay, all their superstars came back that missed for COVID. They added 3 big-time free agents in the back end. This team's going to win games. And when they go to Mac Jones over Cam Newton, that's telling you that this guy's ready. Okay, Bill Belichick ain't a stupid coach, okay? And this guy, from what I hear, he is almost identical to Tom Brady. Pocket passer with precision accuracy. And they've been raving about him the entire camp. There's only been like 3 rookie quarterbacks in history that have won 10 games. You know what I mean? But I'm going to go.
That's why I was surprised it was 9.5. I didn't realize it was that high.
I mean, Roethlisberger did it. He was like 13-0 at one point as a starter. His first year when they won the Super Bowl, or they got to the Super Bowl, whatever it was. Dan Marino did it, and there's like one other. I forgot who the fuck it was. But so that's the only thing going there. But my instincts tell me, well, I know they're going to have the number 1 defense in football, or number 2. You know, them, Cleveland, and the Rams are the 3 best defenses. Belichick is a defensive genius, so that's just what's going to happen. And I think.
All right, man. I appreciate your time.
You got it, man. Thanks for calling.
I'm going to get off. Thanks, man.
I got to get going too.
All right, sir.
All right. We're going to take one more call, but before we do that, it's 5:25. Anybody who's listening, email mouthpoker@yahoo.com. Mouthpoker@yahoo.com. We have a $100 tournament tonight in my private online home game. If you deposit $200, you get $250 in chips. So basically, you're going to get. Basically, it's going to cost you $50 for the tournament, and which will be around 30 players. And I'm adding 3,000. So 3,000 prize pool. That's pretty much doubled for free. So you want to join my private home game? 12 PLO, 12 no limit. Email mouthpoker@yahoo.com. All right, let's take one more call. Let's wrap this up, my man.
Michael.
What's up? This is welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike. How's it going?
Doing great, Mike.
Yeah.
Hey, watched you play on the Hustler.
Yeah, that was fun. These people are crazy, huh?
Yeah, you played really good, man.
Yeah.
I was most impressed. You had a pair of aces one time.
I snap folded it right on the fucking flop, man, or on the turn. I should have folded on the flop when it came king, like 10-7 or something like that. Yeah, I also got away from ace king. The guy had king 10. I got away from ace king, and I got away from ace queen when I knew the guy fucking turned 2 pair when he had 9-10 because he made it. He said something to the other guy at the table, right? I was always going to call Alex. Alex was never going to win the pot, but I knew that guy had 2 pair and folded. I snap folded ace queen too, and I said out loud, I said, "Did you hear what he just said to that guy?" I go, "He just turned 2 pair." Right? See, that's why I'm so good at live. I see everything. I feel everything. I pay a lot of attention, and somebody talks or says something, I pick up on it. So, yeah, I did play really well that day.
You make about 21 over the course of 3 days?
I won. Actually, I won, I think it was 11,000 in the 3 things, But, I could have played in that. I wish I would have played that big game on Friday. I had a seat to it. If I knew there was going to be those 2 fish fry that were in the game, they were so bad. And Garrett won all the money. He flopped 13 sets in one day. I've never seen that.
Wow.
I haven't flopped 13 sets in a year. This guy flopped 13 in one fucking day. He lost $140K pot and still won $140K. It's crazy, man. Yeah.
Yeah, though, you getting rid of those aces on the turn, that ended up being a good play, and you had a good session there.
Yeah, so. Yeah. I listen. That's people. You know what people would pay to get in that 5-5? That's the greatest 5-5 game on the planet. I mean, it's fucking $60 a round to play poker, and they're making raise 350, re-raise 1,300, 5 callers every hand. I ain't never seen anything like it. Like the second time I played the 5-5 game, it was more of a poker game. But that first one, and they kept saying, "Oh, this is nothing. You should have seen the video from last week and the week before." I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to look at it up. So. No,
you did good, but you played that game right. You played tight as hell. I think you played maybe 11 out of 100 hands. That was the right way to play it.
Listen, anybody wants to tell you different, they don't know nothing about poker. Tight is right. That's what That's what poker is. It's what it is, you know.
Yeah, based on hands played, you definitely had the best profit.
You know, let me ask you something. When it's 5-5 blind, right? Why in the fuck would you be playing for 350 or 250 pre-flop? 8-9 or I mean, yeah, I raised a lot of suited connectors, you know, and I always opened for like 100.25. They were opening for like 250. When I opened for 100.25, I'd get 5 callers. But when you got 8-9 suited, 7-8 suited, and you're raising, you want 5 callers. So I open it for 250. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, give me as many. Yeah. When I have a suited connector, I'm looking to hit a flush, a straight, or a 2-pair. I'm like, you know, when I have aces and stuff, kings, you want to play head up 3-way at the top, you know, at the most. So, yeah, when it's fucking doesn't cost you anything around to play, I mean, I just played one, like fucking ABC. It's not really hard, you know, and but even if you're playing ABC, you still gotta get away from hands, you know what I mean? And I got away from all 4 of the big decisions I had, and I really didn't. It was really a no thought process for either of them. That was like the ace queen was an easy fold. I saw what I saw. I mean, if I knew the guy was going to fold 2-pair on the river, I would have fucking, I would have fucking overcalled, you know. But I knew he turned 2-pair. I don't understand how he could fold 2-pair on the river. I can't even. I don't know, but
if you play under that same concept where you're only playing like 10 to 14% of the hands and you're making good decisions, you could play a 5-hour session 3-4 times a week, and
that's what I do.
Do fine. So
that's what I do.
It up, man.
And the truth of the matter is I played mixed games my whole life, and the bottom line is, if you're a fucking great no limit hold'em player, you're just gonna win. Okay? Yeah, I had this losing streak. I lost aces like 29 of 32. Just the most ridiculous bad run I ever had, but. You know, if you're really good and you know how to you use your image to steal pots, and you know how to get away from hands, and you know how to make the big calls, I mean, you're just going to crush a no limit hold'em. You know, that's why all these kids with the GTO bullshit, it's just like fucking game theory is optimal is great to play online, you know, but you play live and I can look at you, I can see things. You know, I watch the way you put chips in. I watch the way you react to a hand. I mean, like, listen, I don't want to just fucking kiss Phil Hellmuth's ass, but these motherfuckers don't give him any credit. Like, when he folds ace-jack for one fucking bet, suited, they all go crazy, and Daniel's got ace-queen. But then he 5-bets the 8-3 and goes crazy with it. Don't you think that he sees something? You know, people do they think he's just a fucking idiot? You know, when he fucking folds for one bet, king jack, the guy has king queen, and then he stuffs 44 big blinds in with ace 10 off, and he's gold. Don't you give the guy credit? Don't you think that he is watching the game and he sees what's going on? You know, when I asked Phil, well, why did you fold that ace jack of spades for a small re-raise? You know what he says? He's like, for a 2,800 re-raise, he said, the hand about an hour before Daniel made it 2,800 with king 10 offsuit, and I called him with some dog shit. And I said to myself, the next time he re-raises me that amount, he's going to have a big hand. And that was his reasoning. And sure enough, he was right. Okay? So, like, he sees that. He knows Daniel's tendencies, and he fucking exploited it. Just like he knew Daniel's tendencies when Daniel had the deuces and he had the 8-3. You know, but Daniel also saw the weakness. That's why Daniel went so crazy with the hand. See what I'm saying? And it was like mono on mono. I see this, you see this. Which puncher's going to land the punch where the other one says, I give? And it ended up being Daniel who said, I give with the deuces. And don't think he didn't almost call. He used like 3 time banks there. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, he knew something felt wrong, and that's been Daniel's problem his whole career. He'll be like, you got king jack. Yeah, you got king jack, and he'll call, right? Or when he doesn't, you know, and he's a great reader. Daniel's one of the best card readers in the world. That's why it upsets me so much that he became so GTO heavy, because, dude, you have so much ability to read cards, like stick to your bread and butter a little bit more. You know, I know how good Daniel is, but you know, he saw something, And Phil saw something, and it was the war, and Phil took the 8-3 and shoved it up his ass. And Phil dominated Daniel in the last two matches.
Good at no limit hold'em.
Yeah, Phil dominated those matches, the last two. I mean, the first one, he didn't play so well, and he came back and got lucky. But the other two, dominated. Complete mismatch. And anybody who watches that can't say that and give Phil the credit, then they're just sore losers, or they're just jealous. Because anybody who watched those two matches know that Phil was the better player by a mile in match 2 and 3. That's it.
Yeah, well, I just think Phil had a better read the whole time. He was in deeper thought.
Deeper thought. Daniel was in GTO thought, and everything was GTO thought. And Phil was in, let's play poker. Let's play big bet poker. You think I'm a tight knit and I always have it, like from match 1. Well, fuck you. I'm going to fucking bluff you 20 or 30 times, which you did. So, got to give Phil credit for that. But
All right, brother.
All right, brother. I appreciate the call.
All right, Mike. It's great talking to you. I'll catch you next time. You
got it, my man. All right, everybody. Before we head off here, tonight at 7 o'clock, $3,000 added. There's going to be about 30 people in the tournament. I mean, could get up to 40. So basically double the prize pool, $100 buy-in, deposit $200, get $250 in chips. Mouthpoker.yahoo.com. Tonight, my online private game. I ain't giving much more money away to everybody. I'm doing it as a favor for some of the loyal people. We've got 5 or 6 loyal people that have just played every day for a year. And, once COVID kind of people started playing live, the room got a little slow. And I could have closed it, the private game I have, but I decided to, for all my loyal people to give away $3,000 tonight in a $100 buy-in tournament. So you deposit $200, you get $250 in chips. The tournament will cost you $50, with a shot to win $2,000 in a very small field. All right, that's it. I'm going to Chicago next week. I'm playing a big live game Wednesday night, charity event with Phil Hellmuth on Thursday, and another 10-20 game Friday night in Chicago. I'll come back on Saturday, and maybe we'll do a podcast Sunday, Monday. I'll tell you how I did. Everybody, have a happy, safe Labor Day weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Don't drink too much. And love you all, and I'll talk to y'all later.
The Mouthpiece.